Well, good afternoon. This is Blue Laker, Radio Tribune here in Las Vegas, Nevada, located at 717 South 9th Street. That's right at the corner of 9th and Charleston. Come on by. We got lots of parking. And if you want to come in and participate in the show, by all means do that because, we want to get your opinions. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be asking you a bunch of questions today that you need to think about. And then after you do that, give us your answers, and you can call in, tell us what that is. It's 702-983-0711. That's 983-0711. And this is Blue Record. And by the way, don't forget the Las Vegas Tribune. That comes out weekly, every Wednesday. Today is Wednesday, so it came out today. It is full of valuable information. It's not, the survey that I'm suggesting is not in today's or this week's edition, but it will be next week, and then you can take the time to fill it out. I wish you would, because it's for your own benefit, and it helps you make decisions. And a lot of times, we get brainwashed by certain individuals, or we hear stories that are just absolutely untrue. And if we're going to have representation, honest representation, you have to know all the facts and information. And then you have to decide on which issues are the most important to you. Because if they're important to you, they should be important to us. And if we do an honest survey, we should be able to find out which of the issues are the most important so that we can continue on with the success of this country. And right now we're faltering. We're falling into a deep, deep, deep hole. And it's all, as far as I'm concerned, it's all political. It's all about one person making the decision for the Democratic Party. Now, is that Pelosi or Chuck Schumer? Don't know. All I know is they haven't broken ranks. They are not looking out for the interest of America. They're looking out for the interest of the party, and they would like to take over the control of both the Senate and the Congress. Well, that's all fine and dandy, but are they qualified to do that? And what has happened in the past is we have found out they weren't, and that's why the Republicans have both houses of the presidency now. Sure, there's been a lot of mudslinging, lots and lots of it. Every time we turn around, they find something new. They're going to get to the point where somebody sneezes in the wrong direction, and it's going to be an attack. And so then that attack will become a criminal affair, and we'll have another investigation to stall, because their tactics are stall and delay and divide, separate and divide. Well, it didn't work in this 2016 election. Hopefully it's not going to work in the 2018 election, and hopefully that we can continue to make some progress and take care of the deficit. And by the way, the deficit and the debt are, although they're rarely combined, the total debt or deficit, if you were, is $200 trillion. Now that might sound like a small number because we're talking 200, but we're saying trillion, not billion and not million. So you see there's a huge difference between them. And it used to be, we used to talk in those terms. And there was a time under several administrations, Nixon's in particular, and I'm not particularly a fan of Nixon, but he did leave with a surplus and no deficit. Wow. How did that happen? How do we go from a surplus to a negative? And well, there's a lot of reasons. So what I'm going to do today, rather than waste a lot of time on preparation, I'm going to give you what we call a question for you to think about. And if you will go onto the internet and pull down the information as the official opinion document that we're putting out, and we're putting that out under combat correspondence. So let's just start with things that are important to us are what age group are you in, and your employment status, your marital status, home ownership or renting and so forth, and your education. Now, Those are important because if we don't get the demographics, we don't know who's giving the information. So the demographics are very important, but these are some of the survey questions, and this is for this coming election in 2018. Do you support Republicans in Congress in their efforts to institute President Trump's conservative agenda for America? And the question is yes or no. Do you support Republicans in Congress in their efforts to institute President Trump's conservative agenda for America? Yes or no? Number two, in your opinion, is our nation better off with Republicans in control of both chambers of Congress and the White House? Yes or no? Is your opinion, is our nation better off with Republicans in control of both chambers of Congress and the White House? Yes or no? Three, has there been any time during the past year where you thought that our nation would be better off if Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats were in charge of Congress? Yes or no? Should Republicans in Congress take action to withhold federal funding to municipalities who act as sanctuary cities and fail to cooperate fully with federal authorities to enforce immigration? Should Republicans in Congress take action to withhold federal funding to municipalities who act as sanctuary cities and fail to cooperate fully with federal authorities to enforce immigration laws? And it's either a yes or a no. But I'm going to add to that just a little bit. If you think it is within the powers of Congress to ignore the borders of the United States by allowing open borders and thus allowing more people to come in unabated without the credentials necessary to become an American city, then you are supporting aliens instead of Americans. So your choice from that question, as far as I'm concerned, is should Republicans in Congress take action to withhold federal funding to municipalities who act as sanctuary cities and fail to cooperate fully with federal authorities to enforce immigration? You can either answer yes or no. But don't forget what I said. Are you going to support aliens or Americans? Are you in favor of suspending acceptance of new refugees from Syria, Somalia, Libya, and other ISIS-controlled countries until there is a top-to-bottom review of the vetting process to ensure that no tourists are allowed into our country? Again, yes or no. Are you in favor of suspending acceptance of new refugees from Syria, Somalia, Libya, and other ISIS-controlled countries until there is a top-to-bottom review of the vetting process to ensure that no tourists are allowed into this country? Yes or no? Do you believe the mainstream media gives fair coverage to President Trump, Republican leaders, and conservative policies? Yes or no? Do you believe the mainstream media gives fair coverage to President Trump's Republican leaders and conservative policies? Yes or no? Do you support Republican efforts to halt implementation of the Obama administration unheeded and unneeded extreme EPA regulations that are destroying the coal industry in America? Yes or no? Do you support allowing the Trump administration to suspend federal union rules in order to quickly fire bureaucrats who are unreasonable or unresponsible, incompetent, or in the position that are being eliminated? Yes or no? Do you support allowing the Trump administration to suspend federal union rules in order to quickly fire bureaucrats who are unresponsive, incompetent, or in positions that are being eliminated? Yes or no? Do you support reforming the federal income tax system to make it fairer, flatter, and simpler? Yes or no? Do you support reforming the federal income tax system to make it fairer, flatter, and simpler? Do you support doing away with the federal Common Core curriculum and guidelines for private schools? Do you support doing away with the federal Common Core curriculum and guidelines for public schools? Yes or no? It's been a complete failure. Would you support an effort to pass a federal balanced budget, an amendment to the U.S. Constitution? Would you support an effort to pass a federal balanced budget amendment to the U.S. Constitution? Yes or no? Or do you think we should just let it run away as it has? Are you in favor of reducing the federal tax rate to encourage businesses to locate in the United States and help create new jobs? Yes or no? Now, notice that the question is if corporate federal tax rates encourage business to locate in the United States and help create new jobs. Are you in favor of that? Yes or no? Of course, if you don't need to work or you're on subsidies, maybe you don't really care. Do you suppose the continued overhaul of the Veterans Administration to ensure that those who have served our nation in the armed forces get the quality service they deserve in a timely and efficient manner? Yes or no? Do you support more federal funding for infrastructure such as roads, bridges, railroads, and airports? Yes or no? Do you support more federal funding for infrastructure such as roads, bridges, railroads, and airports? Yes or no? And another question that's really not on here is, would you favor our expansion into other countries where we're spending billions of dollars, or would you rather spend it here in the United States? Should the United States call on our allies in NATO to pick up larger sales of the tab for funding military bases and exercises in their countries? Yes or no? Should the United States call on all allies in NATO to pick up a larger share of the tab for funding military bases and exercises in their countries? Yes or no? Should Republicans pass measures to ensure that taxpayer dollars are not provided to nonprofit organizations like Planned Parenthood? Remember, nonprofit organizations like Planned Parenthood, whose primary function is conducting abortions. Should Republicans pass measures to ensure that the taxpayer dollars are not provided to nonprofit organizations like Planned Parenthood, whose primary function is conducting abortions? Yes or no? Are you proud of the efforts President Trump and Republicans in Congress have made so far to turn our country around after 8 years of Barack Obama's failed policies and weak leadership? Are you proud of the efforts of President Trump and Republicans in Congress have made so far to turn our country around after 8 years of Barack Obama's failed policies and weak leadership? That's a yes or a no. Either you believe he's done well or you don't. Do you believe Democratic House Leader Nancy Pelosi has any intentions of working in good faith with President Trump and Republicans to address the priorities of the American people? Yes or no? Very important question. Do you believe that House Leader Nancy Pelosi has any intention of working in good faith with President Trump and Republicans to address the priorities of the American people? Yes or no? Do you agree that electing a Democratic House majority in 2018 would effectively cut President Trump's term in half and be disastrous for our country? Yes or no? Do you agree that electing a Democratic House majority in 2018 would effectively cut President Trump's term in half and be disastrous for our country? Yes or no? Well, folks, those are the primary questions. Those are the primary questions that we have in our questionnaire. And those are things that you should take seriously. You should address them one by one. We're happy to send you copies of that information, email, of course, so that you can fill them out and express your opinion. And you can have open discussions with us, either in our studio or with Combat Correspondence, where we invite the public to come in and to state their opinion, pro or con. We don't care. We're just trying to get to the truth. We're just trying to get to transparency in the federal government and cooperation from those elected to put forth an agenda that's going to promote America and American citizens for jobs and opportunity and the future of our children. Today, I'm not going to say much more about that particular survey, but we are going to be getting it ready for publication so that you have the opportunity of participating and stating your opinion. If your opinion doesn't make any difference, if you don't think that you are a part of the American system, well then don't bother. Most people don't bother. They don't really care. They'd rather watch football, baseball, basketball, anything but politics. Well, guess what? There's a program called Combat Correspondence. And that's a program that's about as active as football or basketball, at least, and lots of excitement going on because we have different people with different views and people who are so hardcore in their beliefs that they get out of hand. And that's the only way we get to fully understand what their thinking is. And if we can't convince them about why they should be doing things in a certain way, that is to say, improving the economy, improving the quality of life in America, if we can't show them the benefits against what not doing that will do, then we haven't done our job, because our job is to make sure that the American public gets the best, and the American citizens are first and foremost in this country. There is no question about it. This is our country. It doesn't belong to anybody else. And these protesters, illegals, protesting on our streets when they don't even belong in this country, that's absurd. It's ridiculous. And we can't have one country infiltrate this country and take over our whole social system. And I'm talking about the handouts, the subsidies that we provide to them for showing up, even though we know that they're illegal, and allowing them to take jobs from American citizens now. That's not what we fought these wars for. That's not what many people have given up their lives for. And if you're spitting in their face, well, you don't belong here either. You need to support Americans. That's what you need to support. Everybody else comes second, if there's any seconds left after we take care of America. And today, again, I've given you the summary of what this survey is about. It's an independent survey, by the way. We are not concerning ourselves with whether or not you're a Republican, a Democrat, an independent, nonpartisan, Green Party, all the rest of them. We're concerned with your opinion and how you respond to that based on your answers and the collaboration of others that feel the same way. Isn't it better to have the public telling our officials what we want rather than them telling us what they want about them passing laws that they become immune to, and that we have failed political leaders in Washington, D.C. who are corrupt, who are sexual offenders in some way, shape, or form. Is that what we envision? I don't believe so. I believe that our forefathers would be aghast if they saw what was happening here in the United States and what we have done to destroy all that they fought for. Now, I say we, and I want to correct myself because we are not responsible necessarily for what happened. Now, there are people say, well, yes, you are. You voted these people in. Well, maybe we did vote them in, but we did it on good faith, on what they said. But, as you well know with politicians, tell them what they want and do nothing. That's exactly the philosophy that most of them have. Why? Because they just need the position of power. Why? Because they get $195,000 a year for doing squat. And if you don't think that's true, then you need to do your own backup investigation and find out the truth. Because the truth is the only answer. The truth is the only guide that you have. And if we're not giving you the truth, then you owe it to yourself and other people to tell us and or tell the papers. Now, when we talk about papers, we have, of course, the Las Vegas Tribune. It's a weekly publication that comes out on Wednesday. It's come out full of good, vital information, and you don't have to go out and get it. It's right there in your home in the form of an internet newsletter. So make sure that you go to the Las Vegas Tribune, and if you'd like to advertise or donate to a particular cause, by all means do that. You know, we have so many issues here, and we have to address them one at a time. That way, if we can get it down, if we can bring the pile down to a little heap, we've accomplished some major goals in our operations. So again, just as a reminder, if you would like to call in, it's 702-983-0711. That's 983-0711. My name is Blue Laker, and combat's correspondent might be on tomorrow. I'm not quite sure. We're in the process of setting those up on a regular schedule so that you can take part, that you can be part of the audience, that you can join in on the conversation. And of course, we do have Robert's rules, so it's not going to get too far out of hand. We will have a sergeant of arms, at least one, and we will have people from all parties, whether it's Republicans, Democrats, and Independents. It matters not to us. We're trying to make this fair and equal, and that's what you should do too. You should make it fair and equal and vote for the people who are the most qualified and who will do the most for you and the future generations of America. Yes, Donald Trump has said, I want to make America great. I want Americans to be first, and he's doing everything in his power to get it done. Why is there any kind of stall with the border? Why? A country without borders is no country at all. We're left open. We have infiltration from right now one country of 45% of immigrants, aliens if you were, coming into this country from one country. Yet our doctrine says no more than 5% should come from any country in order to be fair and equitable in the approach. So I ask you, let's get involved with enforcing the laws that we have because they're there. It's not something, how did this ever get to where we're at today? How do we have 596,000 people in the state of Nevada on Medicaid? It's free for them. And yet, other people who are working have to buy their own insurance. Where's the parity? Oh, you want to give it to some over here, you don't want to give it to them over here. No, those are the people who are going to pay, those are the people who are going to support the one that don't make sense to me. I think that it's got to be, there has to be fairness. And if there isn't fairness, then it's no good. And if it's no good, we shouldn't be doing it at all. Period. Where do they come from? It doesn't matter where they came from. What about the people that are homeless and sick? Well, we should have programs directed specifically at them so that they can maybe get out of the dilemma that they're in, because otherwise they're going to be walking the streets and sleeping on park benches and sleeping in the streets and on the sidewalk. It is getting to the point of total ridiculousness. And I know that Las Vegas is not the leader in that it happens in other cities like Los Angeles, and there's so many people sleeping on the street or behind a tree or whatever, and it's just getting worse and worse by the day. And the more prices go up, the worse it gets. And what are we going to do about it? What can we do about it to help those people who will accept help? That's probably the more important question. And when you give subsidies to people and they decide, well, I have enough coming in over subsidies, I don't have to work. Why should I work when I can't even make as much money as I'm getting from the subsidy? Well, folks, that needs to change. Things should be done on production. The more you produce, the more you get. So if you want to join in with the efforts to make America great again, make sure that you search every avenue to get out of the situation that you're in. And make sure that you are of the mind, an open mind, to success. Because if you have that hope and you have the desire, you can do it. Anybody can do it. Just put your mind to work to make it happen. That's what Donald Trump has done. He said, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. He's done what he can. But he's had so much stiff opposition with all of these other investigations and everything that's taken place. All of them have proved nothing. Yet, we find out that every time somebody blows their nose in Washington, D.C., they create a wind going all the way across the country. Well, guess what? We got to stop that BS. We need to concentrate on getting the job done and turning America around. And that means each and every individual amongst us who believe in America must join in the fight to take control. Have a great day. This is Blue Laker. Again, we're here in Las Vegas at 717 South 9th Street, and that's at the corner of 9th and Charleston. And you can come in, and if you would like to call and make a reservation, by all means do that. It goes at 702-983-0711. And we look forward to having you here. And don't forget that the Las Vegas Tribune is here. It's published on Wednesday today, and you can find out about a lot of things that you didn't even think about by picking up that. And again, you're not paying for it. You know, we provide this information to you free. What's wrong with free? Didn't you get an Obama phone? That was free. Oh, you like the Obama phone better than the Las Vegas Tribune? Wait a minute. Why did they give those phones away? Is it because now they know where you were at? Oh, never thought about that, right? Oh, I know where they're at. Yes, we gave a phone. Now they got an obligation to us. Oh, by all means they have an obligation. And what is that obligation to? It's an obligation to a quote-unquote specific party who said, well, if you don't help us, we may take your phone away. Oh, really? What about your subsidies? You've got food stamps. You need those food stamps. Just remember who gave them to you. The Democratic Party, the left, the liberals, the socialists, the communists. That's what we're leading to, communism. And we need to stop it because they're doing it with our money. They're supporting these people with our money, the taxpayers, the people who are working are paying for those who don't work. And if you think that's fair, then I think you've got another thought coming. Again, this is Blue Laker. Yeah, sometimes I become a target. You know, I'm walking around with a target on my back, but that's too bad because you know why? Because I am an American, because I believe in the American system, the way it was designed, and I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth. I've worked my way all around this for years and years and years, and I know what we had was good, and all of a sudden it's changing. Again, have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Don't forget the Las Vegas Tribune. Talk to you then. Bye-bye.